Good morning, guys. So here we are on a gloomy Saturday morning, and we are headed out to pick up something. It is an hour and 45 minutes away, and why do we always pick these long places? But anyways, nothing seems local. But anyways, it's not a piece of equipment, and I don't know if you can see, but there's a dog crate in the bed, so it will fit in the dog crate. So anyways, I'll check back in with y'all here in a little bit. All right, guys, well, we arrived where we are. It's like 2 hours away, out in the middle of nowhere. This is the driveway. Thought this was interesting. Got a donkey coming down the road. Look at him. Feel like I'm at one of those drive-through zoo type things. Anyways, I thought that was funny, but I'm not gonna film while we get up here. All right, guys, so we just left where we got what we got. You probably hear them, but I'm telling y'all, this place is out in the middle of nowhere. And the donkey, they said they own 70 acres here, and the donkey, there's no like gate keeping the donkey from like coming off their property. And they said the donkey comes down and eats grass on either side of the road, and this is a dead-end road, and it's all family, and you know, nobody cares, and the donkey just goes back up to the house. Kind of funny. But anyways, let me show you what we got. Right there you go, guys. We got some Nigerian dwarf goat kids, and look how cute they are. They are 3 months old, and we'll get into more of the details later. But we just were, like I say, we're still at their property. We had to put something on the gate here, on the thing here. But anyways, we have goats now, as you know, but we decided we don't breed those, and we decided to possibly get into that / add to our goats. Actually, we want about 5, but these people only had 2 girls, so we're gonna try to locate some more girls and a buck. So catch up with y'all when I get home. Guys, well, here we are back at the Skyline Acres. We had to do some stuff out here. We had to move everybody out of the barnyard over to here and do some different things with the water and all that. And we are getting ready to introduce these guys. All right, guys, here we are walking them out to the barn. They're not happy about it. It's been, I'll get into this in a minute, but it's been 8 years since we've had goat kids on our property. And it's been 8 years since these goats have seen another goat. Well, here you go. Alrighty. I'm gonna set mine down. Boy, look at them. Oh, one's going to the bathroom already. That is how small they are compared to our other goats. And those are mini Nubian mixed with fainting goats, 8 years old. And that's how, I would say the adults of these were probably, we were talking, they're probably 3/4 the size of those and less stocky. Well, everybody's going to the bathroom already. Get y'all a good view of them there. They were on electric fence before, and that's what we have, so hopefully they're kind of used to it. They're trying to get to those goats. Hopefully that doesn't become an issue. Now we got the cows. Everybody coming up here to check out what's going on. Just chaos on the homestead today. The babies really want to get over there with the adult goats, which actually, so the people where we got these goats from, they have a whole homestead thing, and they sell goat milk and they milk them every day, and they sell quail, and they go to farmers markets. They actually had the Square thing that takes credit cards and all. So, but anyways, we're basically going to be weaning these two new kids, because sometimes they would go out of town or whatever, and they use these kids to keep the milk going on the goats that they were milking. So up until today, I mean, she told us that's their general process. So anyways, these guys are 13 weeks old. Because we'll be weaning them, I'm sure they'll be a little extra. Oh, look at that. They like the grain. Oh, and our other goat's in there. Forgot about him for a second. I'll tell you the story about that in a minute. They're awfully cute, that's for sure. So the introduction went fairly well. I think we're just dealing with the fact that we're weaning them, and this is a whole new place for them. They've never seen cows. These goats over here, I haven't seen other goats in 8 years, and just all that. But it's only been like 10 minutes. So we'll keep an eye on them the rest of today. Today's Saturday. All right, guys. So anyways, it is now the next Saturday, pretty much about the same time. And it's about just as gloomy out. Got a little rain. Anyways, so the whole plan was to get more than 2 doelings. I'm not sure if I said that before, but the first place only had 2, and then the rest they had were bucklings. So anyways, we were in talks with this other place at the time, and they run a bed and breakfast, and they're super busy. And then they have, like, I wouldn't call it a petting zoo, but a little thing that the bed and breakfast people can pet the goats and stuff. And then some of those goats had babies, so apparently they're really friendly and everything. So we are heading down there to pick up 2 doelings there, and I will tell you they're a different breed, but I'm not going to tell you what breed they are. I'll show you when we get them. Heading down the valley on an old skyline. Ain't no other place I'd rather be. Life in the valley is the only life for me. So we just got home from picking these guys up. And so what these are mini Nubians. And man, we went to the prettiest bed and breakfast. I mean, it was like a plantation kind of thing. We live in Virginia, and you have James Madison and Thomas Jefferson and all these places. You have all these big plantations and stuff, and you have a lot of just other kind of versions of those that other people would have had. And it was a pretty big thing, pretty big structure. I don't know if anybody famous, if it was anybody famous at the time or whatever, but it was huge. And it was a bed and breakfast. But anyways, they had basically, like, I don't know, pretty much they had goats and chickens, and I think they said they had ducks. But they had quite a few goats, and they milk them. And the guests come down there and everything. So these are mini Nubians, and this one is more Nubian. A mini Nubian is Nubian crossed with Nigerian dwarfs. So the ones we got last week are just straight up Nigerian dwarfs. So they're smaller than these here. But this one is a little bit bigger than this one. That's because this one has more Nigerian dwarf in it. But anyways, these are 2 doelings, born, I think, within days of those other ones that, didn't come from the same place. But anyways, we'll get these off, get them in with the others, and I'll show them to you then. Well, it feels like deja vu from last week. Same time of day, same walk with the goats, same everything. But anyways, here they are. These are a little bit more friendlier to start. Because like I said, they had like a petting zoo thing where all kind of people, you know, came and, you know, they saw all kind of humans. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and get these in with the other ones and see how that goes. I'm curious because kind of like a social experiment. What do two groups of babies do that don't know each other?
Oh, some more new faces. Good boy, buddy.
Gotta hurry up, this is heavy. All right guys, so here's the introduction basically. There's the ones from last week.
Okay.
That goat was kind of heavy, so sorry about the camera angle.
What do you think?
All right, here's the first interaction.
Who's so brave? Everybody got big bees. Who's so brave? Hi, girlies.
Got one doing both things over there
Hey, honey.
at the same time.
What's you doing? Got you some friends.
These here, we've been working with them some, but we haven't had a ton of time this last week that we've had them. But they're definitely super cute.
A little bit smaller than mine, but not a lot. Yeah, I think.
All right, guys. We'll mess around with them here, kind of see how that goes, and I'll catch up with y'all here in a little bit. So as soon as we walked out, right here's the stall, they started meeting each other.
You're being so brave.
So I figured that was kind of funny. The two on the right that we got today, like I said, I think I said, they're from different moms, potentially different dads. They had two bucks, and we just don't remember what they said. But anyways, the one's bigger because it's more mini Nubian, and the smaller one has more Nigerian dwarf in it, which is what these are. So I threw some grain in there, see if that would kind of let everybody be friends. So it's been about an hour that we've kind of just had them out here in the barnyard, and they still group up in different groups when I don't have feed there, but they do seem to be getting along fairly well. And let's talk about why we decided to get more goats anyways. So I'll try to be relatively quick, but when we finished our fencing and everything in 2017, we bought this place in 2014, and at the time we were bringing one horse here, and that horse needed a companion or companions, and so we got these 4 goats, 2 wethers, they're alpines, and the 2 girls back there are mini Nubian mixed with fainting goat. And because these are wethers, we had no intentions to breed goats or anything like that. Well, fast forward 8 years, that was 2017, we're now in 2025, and this guy right here, this is why he's separated, he got really, really sick about a month ago. And I think he had that goat polio with the thiamine deficiency. And we had to vet out here, and we gave him injections and different things. And it's a slow process to recover from that. But anyways, he's doing much better now. But kind of got us thinking, we're at a period of our homestead where things are now 10 years old, right? Things we built are 10 years old. You know, pressure treated wood's starting to rot. Animals are getting old. Equipment is getting old. It's kind of like all this stuff's hitting us at once. And we were just kind of thinking, these goats are 8 years old, and we were kind of thinking, you know, maybe we should look at getting some replacement goats, you know, if and when we need to, you know, something happens to these guys. So that way something doesn't happen to these guys, and then we're trying to find replacement goats. Then that turned into, well, we don't really need companions for a horse anymore. We have gotten into breeding our cows, and my wife breeds horses at her job. She went to school for equestrian sciences and stuff, and we said, well, you know, let's just, if we're gonna have goats, let's breed them and make a little bit of money off of them. So that's what we're doing. It's kind of how we got here. Originally a week ago, we were gonna get a buckling too and keep it here. Then we thought about it more, and we're just like, shoot, we don't really want to have to separate them and have build a different fence type thing for that. And, you know, it's kind of like the cows. We AI'd them this time, but we have leased a bull and brought it here for a few months. And I think we were looking locally around here, and there's people that lease their bucks. So I think that's probably what we're going to end up doing with these girls. That way we don't have to have a buckling around here. But anyways, we're pretty excited about it. We haven't had, well, I was going to say we haven't had any new livestock in a while, but the cows, we got them about 2 years ago. But the goats, I mean, these goats haven't seen another goat in 8 years. I mean, we bought those 8 years ago, and just, that was that. And they're like dogs. I mean, they're the best little things. They love it when I come out here and feed them every day and all that. Anyways, guys, with that said, I think that's going to do it for this video, but I want to thank y'all for coming along with us today. Well, in this video, 2 different journeys. One place was an hour and a half. Well, no, shoot, what was it? Hour and 50 minutes away. And this place today was an hour away. So thanks for coming along with us. Hope you enjoyed the journey. We'll show more of the goats on the channel, you know, over the years. But anyways, hope y'all enjoyed the video. I'll put some more videos up here that I think you might like. And with that said, guys, I want to thank you for watching this one, and we'll catch you next time. Y'all have a good one.